Hello and welcome to your love story for the Gemini Sagittarius connection. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you come across it is when it should pertain the most to you and your life. Also, if you are a Sun, Moon, Venus, or rising Gemini or Sagittarius in a connection with a Sun, Gemini or Sagittarius, this reading is for you. We're going to look at your soul contract, your energies, and your love story. So we will use the octahedron to represent the Gemini energy, the air energy in this reading, and we will use the tetrahedron to represent Sagittarius, the fire energy in this reading. So we'll read Gemini over here, Sagittarius over here, but this is general, so this could be interchangeable. All right, so a Gemini Sagittarius connection is a lot of fun. All right, because the Gemini rules the third house and Sagittarius rules the ninth house, which is the higher domination to the third house energy. Third house being learning, communication, and the ninth house being higher learning, higher spirituality. So there's a beautiful connection of spirit, of mind between Gemini and Sagittarius. So let's get right in and look at the emotional energies and the karmic energies of Gemini and what they bring into this connection. Okay, so we are rolling a 4, if you can see that, on the heart energy, and this is like mature, an emotional, mature person who is ready to open up, to love, to be vulnerable. Okay, but Gemini is not going to just give their heart to anybody, even if they are ready. And their karmic energy, we have a 2. So with the 2, Gemini could be struggling with some energy around finances or career at the time that Gemini comes into union with Sagittarius, or at some point early on in the connection. So Gemini is dealing with a little bit of karmic energies around money, abundance, career, and finance. So let's take a look at Sagittarius and see what's going on over there. Ooh, as Sagittarius is rolling at the 1 for the heart energy, and that is, I love my Gemini. So when Sagittarius meets this Gemini, it's like Sagittarius sees stars, and Sagittarius is coming through as a 5 with the karmic energies. So Sagittarius is in the process of like moving through dark night of the soul, or having a spiritual awakening of sorts when meeting Gemini, coming into union with Gemini, or the connection with Gemini may be the facilitator of a spiritual awakening in Sagittarius. So with the energies that have come out, this is definitely a meeting of the minds and the soul between the two of you. Let's look at the greatest strength of this relationship and connection. And we have a 3 coming through, if you can see that. Come on, camera, work with us. Oh, it's not going to play nice. And I don't know, since we've moved into retrograde season, I feel the energy shift. I wonder if you guys do as well. And so my camera's spazzing out, not working with us is part of that. Anyways, 3 rolling as the greatest strength in this connection means you guys are truly best friends, okay? Not only are you lovers, you are also best friends. You get along very well. You have a lot in common. Let's look at the greatest weakness of this relationship. What do we have here? We have, I believe, okay, we have a 6 rolling through, and we'll see if the camera will work with us, if you guys could see that. Anyways, with the 6 coming through, that is jealousy and insecurity. That is the greatest weakness in this connection. One of you or both of you does struggle with some jealousy and some insecurity. So let's take a look at your soul contract. Okay, we have a excuse me, a 2 coming through, and this is like a separation and reunion. So this is definitely a connection that will come together and then have a separation at some point, and then down the road will also come back into union. So this could be where you guys meet early in life, go your separate ways. Later in life, you come back together in a romantic way. This could be somebody you've had a relationship before, like a serious relationship. You break up and then you come back together. This could be where you guys meet under the circumstances of like the wrong time. It's kind of just like a missed opportunity, or one person isn't open and available. And then once all that energy is sorted out, the universe brings you back together. Okay, so this is definitely a connection that is gonna come into union, have a separation, and then have a reunion, which is a permanent connection. So let's look at the spirit guide that oversees this relationship. We have an ancestor of protection. So this is a very wise being, a spirit coming in that oversees this union between the two of you. And being an ancestor, this is either a being who incarnated through your bloodline or incarnated through the bloodline of the other person involved in this relationship. And you may or may not have known this ancestor, all right? But very wise being that oversees this connection, and with protection there, when it's time for you guys to come into permanent union, nothing will be able to get in between, and you have a spirit guide making sure of that. So let's look at the energies of both of you. So show me a Gemini for Sagittarius. Serious relationship. Okay, so whether in union or in separation, Gemini definitely sees Sagittarius as their one, as where they belong. And that's good to see, because you know, with the heart energy, Gemini is mature and able and capable of loving and offering a serious relationship. But Gemini is very, very picky, and Gemini might like to play a little bit of hard to get, all right? And Sagittarius sees Gemini as their true love. So I like to see that Gemini also views Sagittarius in that same light. So let's look at Sagittarius for Gemini. In my heart, aw, you both love each other, whether we are in separation or union. You both definitely love each other. You both are unforgettable to the other, all right? So let's look at Gemini's heart, mind, and soul at this time for Sagittarius. Show me Gemini. In the heart, we have the Chariot. I will win my Sagittarius over. I will do whatever it takes to get with my Sagittarius. I will go back to my Sagittarius if I've left my Sagittarius. So in Gemini's heart, Sagittarius is a jackpot, is a victory, is a success. In the mind, we have the Two of Pentacles. However, Gemini's going back and forth about something, weighing pros and cons, weighing maybe the past and what could be. And in the soul, we have the moon coming through. So Gemini is showing as some unresolved energies within the soul about this connection, as well as the mind. Gemini's kind of going back and forth, and that, you know, could be for a number of different reasons. We're going to pull some more cards, but there is a lot that Gemini hides from Sagittarius about their thoughts, about their emotions. Sagittarius may wonder, am I in Gemini's heart to the degree they're in mine? I feel Gemini is much more mysterious and guarded about their thoughts and their emotions, even though this is a meeting of the mind and the soul, okay? Gemini is much more guarded about things. So let's take a look at Sagittarius, the heart, mind, and soul of Sagittarius about Gemini. All right, in the heart, we have the Knight of Swords. In the mind, we have the King of Pentacles. And in the soul, we have Justice. Wow. Okay, so in the heart right now, Sagittarius could be, waiting to hear from Gemini, could be waiting on information from Gemini, or could also be in contemplation about some things that Gemini has said. What did Gemini mean? Am I going to hear from Gemini? Are they going to open up? And in the heart, with the King of Pentacles coming through, that's really like the most solid love, because we see that it's very deep for Sagittarius. King of Pentacles is an earth energy, which is more of a material, but what this tells me is not only emotionally does Sagittarius have this amazing affection for Gemini, but is also ready and willing to give Gemini everything. Let me be your husband or wife, because in the soul with Justice, the Sagittarius sees Gemini as their husband, their wife, their twin flame, their soulmate, the one they belong with. And it's like, I'll do anything. Like, this is very important to Sagittarius, this union. And I do feel that, again, Gemini may be a bit of a more mysterious energy, and Sagittarius is just kind of waiting to understand, for Gemini to give an answer, to give an explanation, to really open up and share. And again, this could be interchangeable, as this is a general read. So let's look at the energy that exists between the two of you. Eight of Swords, the Devil, and King of Swords. Okay, so this is interesting energy in between. Gemini is projecting as the Eight of Swords, so that could mean a couple of things. If we're in union, that goes back to that mysterious energy around Gemini, where they might not be as expressive, especially around their emotions, okay? Or this is talking about how we're in separation at this time that you're viewing this reading. And over here, with Sagittarius showing as the Devil, this is a projection of, I'm very interested in you, I'm very attracted to you, I'm willing to do what it takes to be with you. And in between, we have this King of Swords. So this is about like honesty and communication, and this is what is about to happen, or this is what you guys are waiting on, is to be able to really communicate openly and honestly. This is not around emotions. This is around stating facts or coming to an agreement about something, showing as the King of Swords. So let's pull some cards and look at your love story. not over you. So I'm going to guess most of you are probably in separation when you view this reading. Regret, change habits, divine timing, separated. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward that we're in separation. Because we have not over you and separated. And this is mutual energy, okay? This is the love story where you're at on this journey right now. And so we are in separation. And there is a lot of regret. You know, I do feel within Gemini, just based on the way, you know, the personal energies came out. Again, this could be interchangeable. This is a general reading, but I do feel like Gemini is the one who wasn't like, didn't commit or wasn't sure, was kind of back and forth. Or, you know, again, I feel this energy of like kind of cat and mouse. Like Gemini likes the chase. Gemini likes the energy of the mental game. Gemini is a very mental spirit and being, and so the mental realm, they are the master of that. So Gemini does require a lot of mental stimulation, and so I do get the sense of this separation or lack of committed connection at this time. It falls more on the side of Gemini. And over here, you know, Sagittarius, you're in my heart. You're the one that I want, is going through some dark night of the soul energy, having a spiritual awakening, and this relationship breaking up is what could have facilitated that. And we also have the devil. So I feel like Sagittarius is going through a lot of different changes mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and evolving and expanding through the separation, where Gemini is really discovering themselves and finding themselves. What do I want out of life? What do I want in a partner? And coming to the realization that they found everything they wanted and needed in Sagittarius, okay? But with this, you know, karmic energy around finances, it could be, you know, Gemini needs to work on better establishing themselves in their career. Maybe they have some debt they need to pay off, or maybe they make a good money, but they spend more than they have. There's just the balancing in the financial energy that Gemini needs to work on, and also really getting firm within themselves and discovering that Sagittarius holds everything that they've truly desired. So it's like it's going to take Gemini a little longer to awaken to the fact of how special Sagittarius is. And it's not that Gemini doesn't always know that. It's just it takes a bit longer for Gemini to make up their mind. And Sagittarius is like, you're in my heart, like you're my true love, you're my one and only. Both of you, you know, Sagittarius could have a little bit of codependent energies that they're working through. All right. But with change habits sitting in the very middle, both sides need to work on some things and evolve and expand, and divine timing. So this relationship, you've got to trust the flow of it, whether, you know, we're completely separated or we're in the phase of trying to talk, trying to figure it out. It's all about timing, and you have this strong spirit guide that oversees this connection. Okay, so let's pull some tarot. Five of Swords. So this is coming out on overuse. So fights, arguments, disagreements, an impasse, unable to see eye to eye. Next is the Four of Wands under regret. And so that there is, you know, where Gemini is coming to that realization that Sagittarius is the whole package, is truly everything Gemini ever wanted. Look at, we've got the Devil again, and this is coming out under change habits. So this goes back to, you know, I feel Gemini playing some mind games and Sagittarius having some codependent, you know, energies. This could also be where one of you maybe has some substance addiction, or we have some spending issues. With the Devil, it's just codependency, addictions, you know, issues that we refuse to face. And so in order for this to come back together, whatever these issues are for each, it needs to be resolved, and you both need to be evolved beyond that, because whatever those issues are, it creates an incompatibility within this connection. And then the way it manifests causes a lot of fights and arguments, which damages the love. So it's better for you to part ways while both of you work on these energies, and you do have a spirit guide that's going to see this through, and then in the right time we come back together in union. And look at that, the Death card is sitting right on divine timing. So where there was an ending, it had to happen, you know, it had to fall apart in order for it to fall together, for the new beginning to come in, for the phoenix to rise from the ashes. And under separated, we have the Spirit of Wands. So spirit guide saying, don't worry about this. You guys will come back together when it's right for both of you, and I will see to that. All right. And also with the Spirit of Wands, that's talking about, you know, the spiritual awakening that's happening, you know, during separation, especially for Sagittarius. All right, let's pull some more cards. Disillusionment, dishonesty and mixed signals, angel guide, reaching out. Yeah, that an accountability. So we have 3 lessons going on here and 2 journey. The spirit guide definitely oversees this connection. You really don't have anything to worry about. You know, don't freak out that you're separated and constantly worry, are we gonna get back together? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Like all these things, because it's like what's meant to be will be, and through separation there is purpose in that, so you both can evolve into different versions of yourself. And through the separation, we have some lesson here about disillusionment, and that happens on both sides. Okay, and we have dishonesty and mixed signals, and we have picked up a bit on, like, you know, those mind games, and there it is right there. And so here we have accountability, and this sits on the change habits. And for me, this is both sides, again, changing and evolving, and both taking responsibility and accountability for their actions. And, you know, whoever walked away from this or really damaged things is the one that's going to return, is going to reach out when it's the right time. And that's sitting on divine timing. Like, this spirit guide will see to that. And more than the spirit guide, there's angels around both of you. Okay, this connection again is very spiritually based, and Sagittarius is going through dark night of the soul and having this beautiful spiritual awakening, and they are really going to transform into another being. It's like meeting Gemini brings Sagittarius to life. And for Gemini, you know, for Sagittarius, I kind of feel Sagittarius knocks Gemini down a peg or two. And I mean that, this energy, this Gemini feels very attractive, very alluring, like a lot of people interested, wanting to know Gemini. Gemini can take their pick. And again, like that cat and mouse, that mind game. And then meeting Sagittarius was much more than Gemini ever bargained for, because this is the whole package, and that changes Gemini. And that's where Gemini comes into this decision. I had everything in Sagittarius, and then, returns. So let's pull just a couple more cards about this return and what does that mean. Be mine. Same mistake. New romance. Okay. So when we are working on, reconciling, there is going to be fear that the same thing is going to repeat as in the past, but that is not the case, okay? Be mine. Gemini is very serious. When this comes back together, and with new romance, when it comes back together, in a reunion, the relationship is going to be much different than what you guys had before. It's very balanced. It's very equal. And it's that honeymoon phase and the butterflies, and no matter how familiar you may be with each other, it's like brand new, falling in love for the first time with each other. So for you guys, this is a love story where you meet, you have to go your separate ways to evolve, to grow. The universe brings you back together and you fall in love like it's the first time, and there's no other person, there's no better person for you. And when we come back together in a reunion, Gemini realizes Sagittarius is the whole package, and I kind of feel Sagittarius always viewed Gemini in that through those eyes, but there is a lot of jealousy and insecurity that has to be worked through, and then some sort of like addictions, habits, patterns of behavior, codependency, which has come out very strongly, okay? But once that's worked through, that's when the universe brings this back together and you fall in love like it's the first time you ever met, and it's just beautiful. All right, so those are the messages for the Gemini Sagittarius love story. I am sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.